Peace. What's the word? What's happening, everybody, man? We tapped in. It's another mental health Friday, man. Y'all see the subject matter for the day, man. We about to start. We about to talk about self-care, man. I'm gonna give y'all about 3 to 5 minutes to tap in with the kid on this wonderful Friday. Let me know how we living. Let me know how we feeling. Again, man, we checking in with that mental health, man. We gotta tap in on Friday, see how the mental is going, see how y'all weeks been panning out, or to see how the week has been panning out for you. So we tapped in, man. We gonna tap in, give everybody time to locate the stream, and let me know how you living and feeling, man. Let me know how you living and feeling and moving and grooving on this wonderful Friday, man. What's the word, man? How we living? How we living? We tapped in, man. Another mental health Friday. Striving to be consistent with this mental health Friday concept. So hopefully life don't start life and then I gotta rearrange some things. But if so, I'm just gonna pivot, adapt, and adjust. But we staying consistent out here, man. That's what we striving for, consistency. That's what I'm working on personally. Clocks in. Peace. What's happening, my brother? What's happening? Voice of a Hustler TV. Peace. What's happening? What's the word? How we living? How we feeling on this Friday, man? Tap in. Y'all already know. Y'all might as well beat me to the punch, man. Y'all know I asked for y'all to rate how the mental health state is up to this point on that scale from 1 to 10. 10 being fantastic, 1 being terrible, man. Go ahead and drop your score, man. Drop it. I need for y'all to let me know, keep me updated every week what your score is, man. How y'all feeling on that 1 to 10 scale mentally? 1 to 10 scale, where you at with it? Y'all might as well beat me to it, man. We're going to ask this every Friday. There you go. We say feeling beautiful, blessed, and honored for sure. There we go. If I said we at an 8, there we go. Where everybody at with it? 1 to 10 scale, man. How that mental health doing? I put myself probably about 8.5. Feeling pretty good. Only thing stopping me from getting a real decent score is, man, just sleep. Lack of sleep. That's something I'm personally working on. It's another thing, man. Just being consistent and then sleep. Like resting. And that's my biggest problem as far as this mental health go, man. Sleep. Resting. Making sure I get enough sleep, making sure I'm resting. I'm always working, always putting in some work, always studying. Sometimes I just gotta embrace relaxing. So that's something that I'm working on. I master that. I'll probably be at a 10 out of 10 almost daily. But rest is my thing. So what's that? What's y'all number, man? 1 to 10 scale. How that mental health doing? 1 to 10 scale, 10 being great, 1 being trash. Go ahead and drop them numbers. I need to see every week. I'm gonna notice some patterns with some of y'all, man. So hey, be wise too. Not be wise, but be honest. Be honest with your answer, man. If you feeling one-ish, go ahead and let us know. Hey, Antoinette, peace. Nita, peace. Infirmary, peace. What's happening? EJT, peace. What's happening? We got 8s, we got 7s. Where we at? 7.5. There we go. Like what y'all got going on though? Like what y'all working on personally? Like I'm working on consistency, staying consistent with certain things, and I'm working on improving my relationship with sleep and rest. Like those are the 2 things that I'm working on with a little bit of procrastination in there. Like I'm still striving to master procrastination. What are some things that y'all working on? Like that's my personal those are my personal struggles right now. Some things I'm striving to conquer and I'm working on right now. So what y'all got going on? What y'all working on? What are some traits or some habits that y'all are striving to break right now? Y'all are in the process of breaking. My brother Antonio, peace, what's happening? Like I said, consistency, man. That's like something like I can be consistent in certain aspects of my life, but then it's like other aspects, man, I tend to slack off a little bit. So those areas where I slack off, like I'm striving to stay consistent in those areas, man. I got to be consistent across the board. That's what I'm working on. Like being consistent with resting, that's a problem. So it goes hand in hand, with all the other stuff I'm working on. I might get rest one day, and the next 4 days I don't get the proper amount of rest. So I'm definitely working on my consistency in that realm. But then I can be consistent, with eating decent and working out. But man, rest, no sir. Terrible. I'm terrible at consistently getting good rest. Terrible. Or good sleep, or whatever you want to call it. Terrible. So y'all let me know what y'all working on, man. What y'all working on? Like that's what I'm working on, man. Just killing consistency. Not making any excuses as far as like the thing of it is, we like to rationalize things in our heads, man, to just like justify just being lazy, just not being focused, things like that, man. That sometimes that's simply the answer. Like I'm not focused, I'm lazy, I just don't want to do it, and we start rationalizing certain things, man, like making it seem way bigger than what it is. Like, nah, you just lazy, or you just don't want to do it. It'd be that simple, so that's one way I'm breaking my consistency. I didn't just stop rationalizing why I'm not doing certain things on a consistent level. Like, I just tell myself straight up because I'm not doing it. Like, straight up. Where y'all at though? Lindell, peace, what's happening? Nita, what you say? I need my consistency to pick up an upcoming fashion designer getting acquainted with my sewing machine. There we go. Let's tap in. A lot of us working on some consistency. Let's tap in. Clocks in. Tell that story. Tell that story, right? Hey, tell that story. That's the best music, So yeah, we want to hear that. D, peace, what's happening? Antoinette, what you say? Working on eating habits, sleep habits, consistency with my reading, exercising. How's that going? Diabolic, you say, can you check a track out for me right now? Vinny Pass, Perfect Enemy. Definitely when I get off, I can tap in for sure. Vinny Pass, listen to a lot of Vinny Pass for sure. I could definitely tap in with that once I get off this joint, because I don't even definitely about to try to do it while I'm operating this live, been and messed everything up. Like, I don't know, I've been and pressed the button, phone, they already was tapping in on my last stream Friday. So I had to maneuver, pivot, and use this phone so we won't have any type of technical difficulties. D, what you say? Would you say that your lack of rest is due to you being an entrepreneur and constantly trying to build and being ahead of things? Nope. Not in my case, because I wasn't getting rest when I wasn't an entrepreneur. Like, I've always had a bad relationship with rest and sleep. So even when I was not an entrepreneur, like even when I was like in school, like I just didn't rest a lot. Like I didn't sleep a lot. Mind always racing, So yeah, I've always had this type of relationship with sleep. So this has been a struggle for a very long time, most of my life, really. And then I would do things. See, the inconsistent part about it is that there are a lot of techniques that I know that work, that I've done, like herbs and breathing exercise and just meditating, things like that before I sleep. Even like cold showers work, and then when I would do my cryotherapy, my problem is I just won't do those things consistently. The things that help me sleep, I won't do them consistently, and there lies the problem. There lies the problem. Devin, man, for sure. Hey, this algorithm, I already know. This algorithm be hating, But let me let me tap in before I forget what I got on here for. The topic of the day is self-care. And are you neglecting your self-care? So since we talking about consistency, I'm gonna pose another question. Like, the question is already in the title of the stream. Are you neglecting your self-care? But the real question is, what does, first of all, it's two parts. What does self-care mean and look like? to you and for you? And then what is your self-care routine? You should have a self-care routine that you do on a daily. And it should be intentional. I'm not talking about things that you just do on a daily, but like, what is your self-care routine? Something that you, a routine that you intentionally do to help your mental. So what is self-care to you? Like, what does that look like? How would you define it? And then what is your self-care routine like on a daily basis? What does it look like? That's my question to you all. I'm going to give y'all some time to write that. Write the response out to your boy. So again, define self-care. What does that look like? What is it? What is your routine? What is your self-care routine? What do you intentionally do on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis to take care of the mental, to take care of self? It ain't even just a mental. It could be a mental and a physical. Self-care don't have to be just mental. But what do you do daily, weekly, or monthly to take care of yourself, to prioritize yourself? What does that routine look like? Like, what do you do consistently? So I'm going to give y'all some time to write that out for your boy, man, because we want to see the responses. You may be giving somebody some ideas, you know, and it could be something simple. Like your self-care routine could be, it could be your morning washing of the face routine. It could be something like that. Like, it don't have to be something elaborate and deep. It could literally be your face routine, your facial routine in the morning. That's self-care. So tap in. What does self-care look like? Define it. And what's the routine? D, what you say, the problem I tend to struggle with, I don't have a structured or consistent routine. And I'm glad you said that, D, because I know a lot of people that struggle with having a consistent self-care routine. I'm one of them, you know, because for the most part, I've also learned I do this. There are certain things that are attached to me doing work that I try to mask as self-care. Like, I gotta stop doing that. Like, I might be doing something that's almost, it's really work related, and I try to convince myself that I enjoy doing it, and I call it self-care, but it's not. Like, I'm literally actually doing some work. Like, you gotta have something that you doing that's not attached to whatever you do for work. I don't care if you love what you do. Like, you need to have something or and some things that you do that's not attached to your occupation, you know, that you enjoy and you do it on a daily basis, you know. So D, the first part to solving this problem with a consistent routine is, what is self-care to you? Like, give me a definition, like give me your definition of like self-care. What does that look like? And then once we get a picture of what it looked like, then we're going to establish some consistency there. Lindell, you say this may sound strange, but I go for long drives every now and then to vent. Helps me. Oh man, hey, listen, that's not strange at all. Matter of fact, that's something that I indirectly do for self-care. Like, every morning when I drive to the gym before I train, like, I'm talking to myself. I'm venting to myself. Like, literally. You know, when I was a kid, I used to be afraid of getting judged for doing that because, you know, when you would be driving and you would see like homeless people on the side of the road talking to themselves, and the people in the vehicles with you would be like, oh, that person is crazy. And I'm like, man, I do this all the time. When I get a moment to myself, I'm talking to myself. You know, so when I was around people that would view those people in a crazy light, like I used to didn't want people to find out that I did that. But now I don't really care. It's nothing crazy about talking to yourself, especially when you're driving. Like, that's a very serene moment to me. When I'm driving, that conversation with myself, man, it gets me going, especially my morning commute. You know, on my way to the gym, to train, like I gotta have that conversation with myself. It's twofold. There are times where I have to have that conversation, but then there are also times where I drive in silence. Silence is also therapeutic and self-care for me. You know, so there are moments when it's like, all right, man, I just got to get some things off my chest. I got to have a conversation with myself. Then there are plenty of times when I'm driving and I'm commuting and it's like, all right, silence. I used to be like, I'm a music head to the core. I used to couldn't get in the car and not play some music. Now I barely play music. Like if I play music in the morning time, like it's got to be something going on. But I barely play music now when I'm driving, man. I either need silence or I'm gonna have some conversations with myself. All right, Nita, what we got? Self-care is boundaries. Journal, speak to my crystals. For energy, speak my affirmations. Nature walks, working out, protecting my peace, not people pleasing, cooking my own food, skincare. Hey, all of those things are peace for sure. But that skincare, that's something that I've been recently becoming more involved with. Coming up with a skincare routine. Like I didn't realize how like therapeutic that is, man. Like just as a dude, I don't really, just as a dude, I don't know if a lot of dudes be talking about skincare, but the dudes I be around, we never discuss that amongst each other. But it's like that stuff actually kind of peaceful, like a little skincare routine, man. Dread Mike, what's happening? Angelic Peace, what's happening? Antoinette, what you say? Routine for the morning consists of vitamins, ginger shots, and other herbs with tea or coffee, fruit, full body cleansing, prayers, etc. There we go. And now I'm assuming Nita, Anton, I'm assuming y'all do these things daily. There might be a few things Nita might have mentioned that you might not do daily. Let me see. Nah, those are daily things. I'm assuming y'all doing this daily. D, what did D say? I'm so attached to the thought of chasing a bag that I'll neglect myself in the pursuit of it. That's the statement. Whether it's chasing a bag, chasing a dream, chasing a purpose, chasing a passion, whatever it is, I feel like we all at some point then got overly caught up in that until we realize it's not all that. You can get all the money in the world, man, but if I don't have my peace and sanity, man, that is absolute. If I don't have my peace, sanity, and my health, nothing matters. But D, I feel you, because that's literally part of my problem, man. Like I'm always just chasing these passions, man, these visions. Like, man, these goals. Like, I gotta hit these goals, man. But I'm starting to learn, like, hey, I'm at my best when I prioritize myself in some way, shape, or form. Whether it's only 5 minutes a day, like self-care don't have to be 2 hours out the day, don't have to be 3 hours out the day, don't even have to be 30 minutes. It could literally be something you do for 10 minutes a day. And that's something that I'm also realizing. Like you don't have to dedicate an enormous amount of time to this self-care activity or activities on a daily basis. It could literally be 10 minutes a day. But just do something for yourself. Something. Like something intentional. Like something that, like I got clients that come in the gym and they be like, listen, this is my me time. Like this is my time. So they don't be wanting to bring their kids in there. They don't be wanting to work out with the spouse, none of that, because they like, this is my time. This is me time. Like this workout time is me time. So they're intentional about that, so I'm getting more intentional about things that I'm doing for myself. Like this is something I'm doing for myself. It's me time. Nobody else is included. Nothing else is included. I don't even want no phone by me. Like that's the type of time we got to have when it comes to self-care. Like I'm totally immersed in what it is that I'm doing. No phone, no other distraction. Like it's just me and this routine for however long I have to dedicate myself to this routine, whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or an hour. Something is better than nothing in this case. Man, Angelica, it's been a while since I've been consistently putting out the stream. So for sure, it's been a while for us both. Dread Mike, what you say? Read, writing, and cardio. There we go. Ross's reality. Peace. What's that? D, what we got? Self-care to me is blocking out a time consistently to focus on one or a few. Literally, I only had to finish the definition. I literally was up here Speaking your definition before I read it. There it is. Morgan, what's happening? Peace. Discipline, you said, man, you just said it. That's why, as a mature adult, if you ain't speaking up, that means you're gonna die with high secrets. Oh, 1,000%. You know, and that's another thing too. I feel like another form of self care, man. Cause self care, man. Like, listen, it's self care is broad, man. It's a lot of things. I had a conversation about self care, and this is certain things I didn't even really realize was a form of self care. You know, to D's point and to what I was saying earlier is like self care can be you carving out that time to yourself. Like, this is my me time. But then self care too, to Discipline's point here, self care is not holding your tongue, speaking your mind. That's also a form of self care. Speaking freely. You know what I'm saying? Like, you having conversations or you have relationships with people and you not biting your tongue. You saying exactly how you feel. You're not suppressing any feelings and emotions. That's self care. That's a form of self care. Saying how you feel, speaking your mind, not holding your tongue, not suppressing emotions and feelings. That's self care. Suppressing those emotions and feelings is a form of self destruction. So self-care can be speaking your mind. Like, all right, today is the day. Like, today I'm going to have an uncomfortable conversation with somebody that has been bothering me. That's self-care. You stop harboring some ill feelings and you got something off your chest to the intended target. You didn't take it out on the wrong person. You went right up to the source, got it off your chest, and then went on about your day. Self-care. Self-care. Antoinette, which I didn't even think of the drive, and I love driving by myself. Recently drove to Atlanta to Virginia Beach, 14 and 6 hours each way, respectively. The music, prayer, hey, for sure, is amazing, for sure. Like, I come from a family on both sides of drivers, and you know, we drive any and everywhere. We ain't like, you know how people quick to get on a plane. Like my family, they quick to drive. You know what I'm saying? Like, they like driving. Driving can be very therapeutic, man, when you do it the right way. And what I mean by doing it the right way, like especially if you driving with other people, like you driving with the wrong set of people, then it can become annoying. But man, driving definitely can be therapeutic, especially like the scenery. When you drive into certain places, scenery, man. You know, just making the pit stops, man. Just passing by other cultures and all that type of stuff, man. Like, it's just, I like it. Hey, Nita, for sure. Ronaldo, what you say? Did a 59-hour fast and my glucose was at 50. Is that a concern? Nope. They might tell you that's a concern, man. That now, what you don't want to do, let me see. I would need to know. First of all, I would need to know what you did, like what your routine was like, how you were eating before you fasted, and then how did you break the fast? Then I could give a little bit more detail on that. Hey, D, for sure. I was say straight up, as a dude, like, I just don't normally. I ain't been around dudes that's just talking about skincare routines, man, like crazy. Even when I asked I asked this question on Facebook about what people do for skincare, and I probably got like one dude, maybe one or two dudes that actually commented. So I ain't really never heard this be a popular conversation amongst men. Like, I ain't never heard the brothers come together and congregate like, bro, what's your skincare routine? You know, but it seems like for the most part, if a dude has one or if a man has one, it's like kept to himself. So I was trying to open up the conversation, seeing if the brothers was going to answer the conversation. Like, what's y'all routine like? You know, but I personally haven't been in an environment where, men, we talking about what we do for our skin. So I ain't never been around it. That's a different conversation for me, somebody like me. But I'm tapping into it now. Like, I'm realizing, you know, I guess the older you get, you know, your priorities change, your interests change, things like that. Like I'm really into those type of products now. Like, man, stuff to put on the skin, man, little oils and all that type of stuff. Wasn't like we was just walking around foul back in the day, but like I really be tapped in now. Like I really be, as soon as I come up on some money, I'm ready to buy something for the skin, man. Ready to buy a fragrance or something. Hey Lindell, man, I know some people that I know some people that did that for sure. Yeah, I keep, for the most part, I try to keep my judgments to a minimum when it comes to certain things with people because I know it's a lot of things I do. People be like, "What dude on?" Javon, peace. What's happening? TZ, man. Hey, the phone definitely can disrupt your self care routine, especially if you like meditating or something. So I keep mine stay on like silent. Like when I'm reading and meditating, journaling, man, that phone can distract you. Big distraction. So yeah, I keep that away from me when I'm doing those things. Infirmary, what you said. I drink a lot of water, spend time in silence, eat and think as healthy as possible. My job is part of my exercise regimen, but it takes most of my energy and I'm ready to move on so I can focus. Man, you said a lot right there. First of all, drink a lot of water. Everybody make sure they drink the water. Now, also make sure you getting your electrolytes and your minerals from the water. You know what I'm saying? So it's one thing to drink the water, but it's another thing to like benefit from the water. And keep some of the water in you. So we got to get them electrolytes and make it beneficial when we drinking that water too. Get the minerals. Spend time in silence. Y'all know I'm a big fan of isolation. I feel like that's needed for everybody. I got pushback when I said that one time. I think it was on Facebook. But everybody need a period of isolation, man. Whether it's 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 5 minutes. Everybody can stand to gain from isolation on a daily basis, man. That's just you got to just sit with yourself for a certain amount of time on a daily basis, man. You just got to. You have to. Eat and think as healthy as possible. Keys for sure. I like how you said that's possible because, we have our days, we have our moments. My job is part of my exercise regimen, but it takes most of my energy and I'm ready to move on so I can focus. That's a word right there, man. That's a word. And I feel like a lot of people had those type of sentiments. Not as far as their job being part of the exercise, that could be possible, but just being ready to move on because of the job taking a lot of the energy. Like a lot of people are working jobs right now that they either are just fed up with, they don't like. It's not what they want to do, man. It's a lot of people that fit that bill, man, and it's zapping their creativity. They're not able to really put certain things into motion that will allow them to elevate how they really deserve to, or how they would really like to elevate, simply because of the energy and the time that's required for the job. So hey, I always encourage people to pursue, I don't even want to say the passions, man, but if you got a job like that that's breaking you down, it's time to create a plan and a strategy to get up out of that. I always encourage that. Because this is the thing about the money, this is the thing about the bags that we talk about. That's gonna come to you, man. Like if you like your sanity is important, fam. Your sanity and your mental is important. Like you gotta do something that's not killing you mentally and physically. So whatever it is, when you dedicate yourself to something that you're either passionate about or that's creating that peace of mind, you're gonna make the money. The money is gonna come to you. You're gonna attract the money. Like it's gonna come to you. The money is gonna come to you, man. When you dedicate yourself to a passion, man, that's something you can put your heart into, or something that's just creating that peace of mind and that sanity, man, that you can be relaxed while you doing it, the money is gonna come to you. Like flat out. It's gonna happen. It's like literally, it's gonna happen. Like the matter of fact, it's gonna flow to you so easily once you are just able to relax, fam. Like when I was able to relax somewhat, like man, everything always unfolds for me, man, because I'm able to relax in a sense. Like I don't have to keep going to this freaking bank that I don't like being at. You know what I'm saying? So like now things just flow to me, man. Even when it looks like I'm headed towards like a destructive path, nope. unfolds because I can just sit back, I can relax, like I ain't as upset, I ain't as mad at what it is that I'm doing. Hey, Goddess, my sister, peace. What's happening? MB, peace. What's happening? What's the word? Infirmary. What you say? I also spend time learning. Oh, for sure. Like what they say, when you stop learning, that's when you die. So we should never stop learning. That should always be part of self-care, learning in some way, shape, or form, some capacity. We should always be striving to learn. I tell people, man, learn something new daily. You know, you can learn one new fact starting the day for the rest of your life, and you could live to be about 120, and you still won't know you won't even know 1% of what there is to know out here. So I strive to learn something new on a daily basis, whether it's a new word, a new fact, a new concept, something. You know what I mean? Like I strive to learn something new on a daily basis, man. That keeps the brain, that keeps the mind sharp. You know, that prevents things like dementia and Alzheimer's, man. You have got to continue to feed that brain, feed that mind. You have got to do that. Learn something new on a daily basis. It's not hard to find some type of new fact, fam. It's not hard. So I strive to learn something new every day, man. I keep dictionaries around me. I got word books, whether it's a new word, new concept, something. I got books with a bunch of facts in them, like unusual facts, like something. I just learn something new on a daily basis. That's something that I try to do. D, what you say? I need to work on suppressing those feelings. I tend to go to the default, suffering in silence when I feel like family is disrespectful to keep the peace. I'm glad you said keep the peace, man, because that, and it's funny because when we do that, because I'm guilty of doing that a lot too. And that's how I would try to phrase it and rationalize it. But again, we rationalize it to make ourselves feel like we're doing something. But it's funny, because it's only keeping the peace for the other party. Because internally it's destroying us. So it's not keeping the peace within us. It's keeping the peace with the other people. And it's funny because when it's time for them to try to return that favor, they never care to do that with us. When they got something that they want to say to us that's not favorable, they don't have a problem saying it. So that's what I started noticing. Why I'm so worried about keeping the peace for other people. Like I'm protecting other people's peace, neglecting mine when they don't want to, they not going to reciprocate that. When they having ill feelings towards me, when they having just ill feelings in general, they don't mind pushing that in my direction. So why should I mind? That has now become my motto. Like I'm not about to keep any type of peace. The way I keep the peace is by speaking my peace. And there it is. If somebody don't like what it is that I'm saying, that's on them. They got to find a way to resolve that internally. But no, my keeping the peace is by speaking my peace. That's the new way I'm living. God, is what you say, love driving and music, man, for sure. You get the right playlist going while you driving, man. That's it. What they say, it's a vibe, Dread Mike, you say I'm guilty of internalizing my emotions and feelings. It's not good for my health. A lot of the brothers had this problem. A lot of times that's what we do. We internalize, we suppress, we don't speak our minds. We think people don't care. Like that's what we be on. And that's why most people outlive the black man. You know what I'm saying? That's why most of the other groups that we ain't interact with here in the wilderness of North America have a longer lifespan than us. Because we hold on to the most. Like we hold on the most. We suppress the most. It's not good. And then if you couple that with other bad and destructive habits, no, sir. So we got to stop doing that. As black men, for sure, we got to stop suppressing those emotions and feelings, man, and just start talking, man, expressing how you. First of all, I don't care anymore if I feel like nobody cares. I'm putting this in the atmosphere for me. I'm not putting it in the atmosphere for somebody else. So a lot of times when I would sit there and hear people say that, and I say that myself, like, don't nobody care to hear how I feel. First of all, it don't even matter. It's like forgiveness. Like for the longest, they had you thinking forgiveness was about the other person. No, forgiveness is for you. Forgiveness is for you. So you can reach some closure. It ain't really got much to do with the other person. Other person might not even receive it well or receive it at all. It's not for them. The forgiveness is for you. It's not to make the other person feel good, man. It's for you to reach closure. You know what I'm saying? Somebody did something to your family member. You forgiving them is not, it has nothing to do with them. It has nothing to do with them. You know, so a lot of times people harbor those type of feelings because they feel like me forgiving this person is going to make that person feel better. That's not why you're doing it. It's not why you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? So the same thing applies to releasing those emotions and those feelings. I'm not releasing these emotions and these feelings for other people. No. I'm not speaking how I feel for other people. Nope. Doing that for myself. Whether I'm doing it to release it or whether I'm doing it to sort it out in my mind. And I'm just speaking it out loud to sort it out. Like, nah, I'm doing this for me. So I don't care if somebody cares or not. TZ, where we at? Self-care to me is talking to God, working out, and being out in nature. I like to hear birds chirping, water running at the creek for sure. And you know, that's one thing I took me back to the childhood. That was something that I didn't even realize how peaceful it was, man. Just hearing like the nature sounds, man. Just hearing birds chirping. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, like little stuff like that is very much so peaceful. Even like when it's like dark and you hearing crickets, man, like that's actually kind of peaceful to your boy. Then when you go out to the country and stuff like that, man, you hearing frogs. Like, man, I fool with hearing that type of stuff, man. But I just didn't never really realize it. And then I associated that with childhood. I'm gonna tell you something that's also been randomly peaceful to me that I've been just kind of doing. Like nostalgia is a real thing, man. I've been recently, I tap back into stuff that reminds me of when I was a kid. Like the peaceful moments of when I was a kid. Not in the sense of dwelling on the past, but it's certain things that's associated with my childhood in a positive light that I go back and revisit, and it just makes me feel a little better. You know what I'm saying? If I'm having one of them days, it's like, man, I'm gonna go tap into something that I used to watch when I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like one of them old shows or something. Listen to the theme song for one of the old shows I used to watch, man. It just lift you up. I don't know if y'all ever done something like that, man. I remember one time I did something. I went back and I got on YouTube, man. YouTube just got everything. I went on YouTube and I watched commercials from like certain periods of the 90s. And that was like, man, that was peaceful. That was randomly peaceful to me. I was sitting back watching old commercials from like the late 90s. And I'm just remembering stuff. And it's unlocking memories. You know what I'm saying? Stuff I had forgot. Like I started remembering when I'm watching these old commercials. I'm like, oh man, it's actually pretty smooth. You know, so I started doing that. So I started watching old stuff from back in the day that remind me of like peaceful moments. You know, we always talk about the destructive things from back in the day, like the things that remind us of destruction from back in the day, triggers, man. But you also got triggers. You got positive triggers, man. You know, you got things that when you tap into it, it remind you of how beautiful life can be and how beautiful life was. You know what I mean? Fungay, what's happening? Devin, what you say? Decompressing and allowing my mind to slow down, which is challenging. Listening to music, making smoothies every morning, cooking. Bought a record player and started collecting vinyls. There it is. Hey, that making smoothies is underrated. Making smoothies and juicing for me, man, that's therapeutic. Very therapeutic. You know, and slowing that mind down for sure. I can relate to that because that's one of the reasons why I have trouble sleeping. That mind is always going, man. I'm always thinking of stuff, man. You know, so I be doing breathing exercises, you know, journaling, meditation, all that type of good stuff to try to help slow it down. Where we at, D? You say, I think I have a better time doing self-care if I simply acknowledged every day that I'm human and not the machine that society framed me to be. And there it go. There it go. Like you solving your situation right here in this chat, D. Like that's it. You know what I mean? Like that's it. That's what you gotta do daily. So what do we say? The best time to start doing something is not tomorrow, because tomorrow is not promised. It's not Monday. It's right now. So you start that right now. So there there it is. You know what I mean? There it is. Start that right now. Start acknowledging that right now in this moment, just like you just did. Lindell, do you think playing video games, PlayStation, etc., can be therapeutic or can they be harmful? I've never got off into it, but I know people who play them sun up to sundown. It could definitely be therapeutic. You know, it's levels to that also. But man, I know a bunch of brothers that's gaming, making money from gaming, and I'd rather them be gaming than being out doing what they once were doing. I'm gonna put it to you like that, you know. So nah, yeah, gaming it can be therapeutic and it can be lucrative in today's day and age. So I don't have a problem with it at all. I used to play the game heavy back in the day. I don't do it now, but you know, all throughout my schooling and college days, I was all on the game, man. I was online back when online gaming first became a thing. I was out here on that. And it kept me out of trouble, kept me from doing a bunch of nonsense. I'd be playing the game. So anything that'll keep the young bull out of trouble and just keeps a person out of trouble in general, just from doing other destructive activities, I have no problem with gaming. America, you say my nerves been dysfunctioning bad, but I'm starting a conscious coach program on Depot Path to pro all certificates to be a general contractor and do it all. And DoorDash this week came out with, hold on, I'm trying to, Bonafide. Okay, there we go. Hey, what's happening? Ambassador program to create content is based off views, and I'll be doing a niche, celiac and dairy free. So busy and learning health. There it is. Hey, so something, stay busy. You know, if that's the thing that helps, do it. But also don't be afraid to embrace stillness when it's time to embrace it. Because there's a time and a place for it. So when it's time for you to be still, be still. Because there will be a time for that. Because your body will tell you. You know, your body will be like, stillness is the move. Antonella, you say, my mom taught me to never read past a word that you don't understand. Since then, I've always read with a dictionary and thesaurus nearby. Man, that's that old school teaching for sure. That old school teaching. It went two ways. You know, they don't read past that word you don't know. So look it up. And then try to get context clues. If you don't have your dictionary on you, use your context clues to try to figure out what the word mean before you move forward. But you never move forward if you don't understand something. That's that old school teaching. Because I feel like, and the reason why I got to say old school now, because I really legitimately don't feel like that's being taught anymore. Because people be reading all type of stuff that they don't understand. Because you can tell by responses that people give to certain statements. So nowadays, it's okay to read past words and concepts that you no longer understand or that you don't understand. But back in the day, they know what that word mean. You ain't got your dictionary. Use context clues. What you think it mean based on what's surrounding it and how it was used. Like, that's that we was taught with all that. Hey, shout out to everybody that's just tapping in. Let me hold on, D. Do you believe in the concept that every person has an inner child present even after entering adulthood? Maybe that's what you are experiencing. Oh, for sure. No, yeah, that inner child definitely. Because we all been children, you know what I'm saying? We've all been there. So yeah, that inner child gonna always be there because it's a part of you. You know, that was an experience that you had in life, your childhood. So yep, it's always residing within you. You know what I mean? So yeah. But what I would normally do though And for me, it's also this. What I would normally do when it came to like my childhood was like always bring up a lot of the negative things that happen. Like I would be hell bent on bringing up a lot of negatives and overly focusing on a lot of negative things that happened when I was a child. So part of me doing that is to neutralize that. Like, man, I'm not about to keep doing that to myself. I'm about to let me remind myself of some of the good stuff, the good times, the good energy. So that's part of that is neutralizing that. And then on top of the fact that I just feel like things were a lot better back in the day. That's also, I just don't get caught up in a lot of newer stuff because I feel like stuff back in the day was just better. That's the bias toward my era that I was a child in, but I just feel like some of that stuff is legitimately better than what's new. So that's also part of it too. I just feel like it's better. Like when it's music, I'm just gonna go back to old music. Some people say it's comfort music, but like, nah, I just legit feel like this music is better than some of the new stuff I've heard, and I'm just gonna go back to what I'm comfortable with because it's just better than me. Terenzo Montel, peace. What's happening? Man, y'all tapping in. Kurt, what you say? Do you consider growing out your hair and facial hair is considered therapeutic? Yeah, y'all see my struggle beard. I've been having a struggle beard for the longest. I'm trying to make it therapeutic, but see that's why I got into the skincare thing, man. I got some new things I'm about to try out, get the beard going. But yeah, that's definitely therapeutic. That's part of what I was talking about earlier with the skincare routine. Like, man, that's starting to become therapeutic. Figuring out all this type of stuff, man. Like for sure. All right, Bonafide. There we go. Hold on, what we say? Said they make money and lots of and lots. Okay, not much different than video games except it's tangible. Hey, there we go. Pursue that. Put it into motion. Thrive, prosper, all that good stuff. That's the energy that we need to be taking in, absorbing, and keeping it in. Because we living in some tumultuous times. But as I said, these are not the toughest times. These are not the roughest times. They are just rough times and tough times. Everybody, every era wants their time to be the roughest. Like, man, it's no such thing. Because the rough times and tough times are always relative to the era and generation or the time in which it's happening. So everybody gonna feel like their time is the toughest. So there's no such thing as these are the toughest times. How can we say that when we didn't exist 200 years ago? You know what I mean? So like I don't speak like that. These are simply just tough times and rough times. I don't deal in toughest and roughest. Like no. There are stories in history that I'm reading about 500 years ago. I wouldn't have wanted to exist in some of those times. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I wouldn't, no. It's certain periods that I didn't studied. I'm like, nah, I'm good, cool. I'll take these problems we got right now. So we just got some tough times. We just in some tumultuous times, man. But these are by far not the toughest and roughest, man. We gonna get through it. We gonna get through it. But what you focus on, it grows. So hey, if you keep telling yourself and focusing on, man, these the roughest times, these the toughest times. Well, y'all already know how the law of attraction works. I don't have to speak on that again. I've spoken on it a million times, so y'all know how that go. What you focus on grows. So if you keep telling yourself these are the toughest times, these are the roughest times, well, guess what? You will be presented with circumstances and environments that reflect that dominant thought, that dominant feeling, that dominant emotion. So I don't tell myself that. Like I used to get heavily involved in the political climate to the point where again, like I'm focusing on that destruction, and it would just keep bringing me more things to be upset about, frustrated about, or frustrated with, and just stressful. I'm not to the point where I'm unaware now. But like, first of all, I know and understand what politics is. So nothing that they do surprises me. I expect it. I focus on what I can control. I cannot control these policies, man. But I can control the work that I put in to manifest and get the results that I would like out of life. No policy is about to have power over me to where I'm not going to manifest and get what I want out of life. Promise you that. Like I promise you all that. I promise you all. This is not me. This is not even me being naive and gullible. You know, this is not even me being net. Like, I'm literally like, come on, man. We are that powerful. I'm exercising that power, man. I'm exercising that power, and I'm showing and proving through what I do. I don't care what policies they put into play, man. I know how my mind is wired. I know what I'm focused on, so I know what I'm gonna attract. Flat out. And that's what I have been focusing on, and that's what I have been attracting to myself. That's what I have been receiving, however you want to phrase it. You know, I create what they say. We say we write our history in advance. Like, the way you do that is by planting seeds in your mind, man. Right, and then writing that out. Write it out. You plant the seed in your mind, but then you commit that thing to paper. Write it out. It's powerful when you do that. Don't just let it sit idly in the mind. Put it to paper. So then you can visually keep seeing it. Yeah, man, you know, I tap in with the metaphysics for sure. You know, there are a lot of metaphysical concepts that I fool with, most definitely. You know, I put that in on board with everything. You know, there are certain things I read metaphysically where I'm like, don't know about it. Then there are certain things I read, be like, yep, for sure. You know, so I always take the best part, apply it to oneself. Anything that's not useful, discard it. You know, I apply that to the study of all concepts. You know, so yeah, there are a lot of metaphysical concepts. You know, I was really heavy, excuse me, in that bag back in the day though. When I was, you know, just back in the day when I was watching a lot of Bobby Hemmett, Phil Valentine, like I was watching a lot of they joints. And that was kind of hipping me to the metaphysics, like them two for sure. There were other people, but like them two, I was watching a lot of their YouTube videos. And then I would, every time they would bring up a book, I would go grab the book and I read the book. So I was tapped in like that on a metaphysical level. Those are the people that kind of were opening my eyes from a metaphysical standpoint. Then I started getting into things like quantum physics, man, and that really, I started studying quantum physics. I'm like, oh, okay, I really get it now. You know, if you didn't study quantum physics on a basic level, like, you really understand how one shaped their reality, like how you literally shape your reality, how you shape reality. Quantum physics literally shows and proves that. Like, quantum physics literally proves that, like, your perception is literally reality. Quantum physics. You know what I mean? Like, literally. Bobby Hemmett and Phil Valentine. Like, he might got another name he go by now, I think. But Phil Valentine for sure. Yeah, them two. Like, they was getting deep with it back in the day when I was studying. And then, like I say, they might mention some books and things like that, and I go grab the books, and then I will tap in. So I was going down the rabbit hole. Not to say I don't still tap into that type of information now, but that's what got me started. You know, I always go back to the foundations. You know, I always go back to my foundation and how I got introduced when people ask me about subjects and concepts. You know, I feel like I'd be doing people a disservice, like the people that introduced me to those things. I'll be doing this a disservice if I don't mention them. You know, so I'm always trying to pay homage, which I feel like that's almost a lost art these days, man. People don't be paying homage. They don't respect the history. They don't respect the people that came before him and laid down the foundation and the blueprint. So I be trying to make sure I always pay homage. I always try to make sure I give credit. Like that, I try to go out of my way to make sure I'm sharing things with people. Like for people that introduce me to things or books I didn't read. Like I don't be, unless I came up with something, then I take the credit. But if I didn't come up with something, I try to tell you where I got it from, who inspired it or something. But that's a lost art, man. Just paying homage, giving people flowers, as we say, man. I be trying to give people their flowers, especially the people that I feel like don't get the respect that they deserve. I'm always a big fan of the underdogs. So if I feel like somebody's an underdog, if I feel like somebody should get more praise than they do, I try to do it. That's why every time y'all hear me speak about anything musically, I try to insert the name K Reno, because I just feel like that's probably the most talented person I'd never listened to as far as writing ability goes. Man, I don't think I've ever came across anybody as impressive as him yet. So I'm always giving him some flowers, man. Listening, getting introduced to his music changed my life. Like straight up. So I'm always paying homage, giving folks flowers, man, that deserve, that people may not even have heard about or know. And then on the literature end and the writing end, the book end, Amos N. Wilson is another person I always try to shout out, give credit for just inspiring me to change and become better. R.I.P. to Amos N. Wilson. He mysteriously died. We know what's the science behind that, but yeah, his books played an integral part in my elevation, my growth and development, man. So shout out to him. Anybody that's connected to his, his family tree. But y'all, man, with that being said, man, I didn't touch on what I needed to touch on, man. It's been another great Mental Health Friday, man. Hopefully this stream helped to elevate your mental health in some way, shape, or form. And if you came in late, go back and rewind it from the beginning, man, and tap in, and think about your score on that scale, because some of you all did not answer that. So for the people that didn't give me that number, what is your mental health on that 1 to 10 scale? Go ahead and give me that. If you got to put it in the comments after this video is over with, do that. But I need to see everybody's number, though. But, man, I appreciate y'all tapping in, man. I appreciate the input, the reflections, and all of that type of good stuff, man. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to tap in with y'all next Friday for another episode of the Mental Health Friday, man. Y'all stay peaceful out here. Stay sane. You know what I'm saying? Don't let this world corrupt you. Don't let this world stress you out, man. We going to be all right, man. We going to keep prospering. We going to keep evolving and elevating. But I'm out, y'all. Y'all be easy. Peace.